You know, the pastors don't know some of the people that watch. Good afternoon. Mr. Totana Charles Milogo, please, if you can hear me, kindly proceed to where the gentleman is standing. Mr. from Boad, the representative from Boad. Please see the gentleman there. Please, can you raise your hand so he can see you? Please see him there right now. Right now. Thank you.
Well, I'm checking it now. Only, can you speak? We check whether this sound is. Can you say something?
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Never off. Move on, speak. Ban bora nega. B B. Aga. Ba man hold on. Ano mabila? Sorry.
Bizifambe mini
Okay. Before.
nokugasenda mwitalo
Second. Hello, one two. But say the man. Hello, one two. Hello, one two. Mic test. Hello. Oh. Hello, one two. Mic test. Hello, one two. Mic test. Maisiko. Huh? Muna ko gini, ha? Technician, pull on.
So one of the
So the ngeen bëgg a wàññi, right?
Yes, we want to remove one city on the high table. Maybe you ask
But ana kii wuuri gars yi dañ bëgg a wàññi toogu waaw because gars yi ñoo waxoon pour ñu yokka
only one. Just one to remove.
ba mu ne
We are actually creating a scene. Yeah, creating a scene. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Honestly, that's yeah, kind of like almost
I don't mind who sits here. I don't mind that.
I'm not saying just do it, but something can just let's do the session very short. We can go now. As long as I can't do
Yeah.
we can go now.
Please give me the signal quickly.
No, we wait until the
Yeah,
super
ready.
so we don't use it. No, it's fine.
No, but okay. So nobody give the signal for them to come.
No, we bring them in and they'll be seated.
Once they
and
get
then
seated,
we-
okay. All right.
I know.
Yeah. I want to know what you can. No, they made those like Ladies and gentlemen, shall we rise on our feet? Ladies and gentlemen, shall we rise on our feet, please? Let's observe the national anthem of the Republic of the Gambia. Can you put your hands together? Please, you can be seated now. So this is the official opening of the Wacren 2026 conference happening here in the smiling coast of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the Gambia. I guess we are already enjoying the reception, the hospitality of the Gambia. Thank you. Thank you for waiting for this session. So we will just go straight to the agenda. We are very privileged to have our guest personalities here with us, some from the Gambia, some from outside of the Gambia. So we have here Her Excellency Miss Immaculada Roca Ikote. Forgive me if I pronounce this wrongly. The EU ambassador to the Gambia with us. Please put your hands together for her. And then we have the Chief Executive Officer of Wacren, Dr. Ayuleki T.G. Palanga. Please put your hands together. Then we have the outgoing board chair of Wacren, Mr. Pierre Claver Traore. Please put your hands together for him. All right. And then we have the Minister of the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science, and Technology here with us. We have been interacting with him, such a great gentleman. So happy to always be around him. Honorable Professor Pierre Gomez. And then we're also excited to have the Minister of the Public Sector, who happens to be representing the President of the Republic of the Gambia. So the President of the Republic of the Gambia is actually here in the person of this Honorable Minister. Please put your hands together for him. All right, so we just start right away. We want to hear an address from the EU Ambassador to the Gambia, Her Excellency Ms. Immaculada Roca E. Corte. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do it for her as she comes.
Thank you very much. And you actually did pronounce the name very well. Thank you for that. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of the Gambia, represented here by the Honorable Minister of Public Service, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology of the Gambia, Dr. Palanga, CEO of Wacren, Dr. Clava, outgoing CEO of Wacren, esteemed CEOs, colleagues from research and education networks, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media. It is a great honor for me to be here and address you on behalf of the European Union and this conference, Wacren 2026 in Banjul. We know this is a bit of a delay opening. We've been seeing the big signs and we've been seeing you in the ICC here in the premises for 3 days. But nevertheless, I think it's a very important and a very high moment to be able to address to all of you. First of all, of course, I'd like to thank the government and GAMREM, the National Research Education Network of the Gambia, for hosting the conference here. This year's conference theme, Connected Futures, Advancing Africa's Digital Sovereignty through Open Collaboration, could not be timelier. It captures a simple but powerful idea. Africa's future prosperity, resilience and sovereignty depends on the ability of its researchers, students and innovators to connect, to collaborate, and to control their own digital destiny. Wacren has been at the heart of this vision. The West and Central African Research and Education Network has worked to provide connectivity infrastructure and services for research and education across numerous countries in this region, connecting national research and education networks to each other and to the global community. I would like, therefore, to express our sincere appreciation to Wacren's leadership and team for organizing this conference and for the remarkable progress achieved over the years. Today is also a very special day for the Gambia. There is the official launch of the Gambian National Research and Education Network. This is a milestone for the country's higher education and research system. But what does it mean in practice? With Gambian's connectivity to the regional backbone, Gambian researchers and students will have access not only to high-speed connectivity, but also to a rich ecosystem of services, platforms, and communities. From trusted digital identities to secure Wi-Fi on campus, to open educational resources, virtual laboratories, and cross-border research collaborations. With the launch of GAMREM, the Gambia joins a growing family of national research and education networks in the West and the Central Africa. GAMREM is one of the 6 new networks that have recently been connected to the Wacren backbone, alongside those in Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Mauritania, Sierra Leone, and Senegal. The European Union is proud to have supported the journey of the research and education networks of the African continent for more than a decade. We have done it through the Africa Connect program. In the past third edition of the Africa Connect, the third phase, we have connected over 3,000 institutions and universities, counting over 9 million users among students, teachers, and researchers. Building on this success, I am pleased to announce that Africa Connect is now starting the 4th phase. That will be Africa Connect 4, and will have a package of 40 million euros. Our partners, namely REM, Géant, the Ubuntu Net Alliance, as well as Despertis France, l'Institut de Recherche pour le Développement, and the Agence Universitaire de la Francophonie, have only recently started the implementation of the program, landing in West and Central Africa, as well as in East and Southern Africa. Africa Connect 4 is a flagship of the European Union's Global Gateway strategy and is part of the African Europe investment package endorsed by the European Union and African Union leaders in the summit in 2022 and reaffirmed last November in 2025. Our Global Gateway strategy places digitalization and science, technology and innovation at the heart of the European Union engagements, both within Europe and with all our partners outside the country. Through our strategy, we are committed to promoting across to affordable, secure broadband connectivity and digital infrastructure, and to strengthening research and education systems while deepening links between our 2 continents. And for doing that, the national and regional research and education networks are key players for this ambition to be reached. Africa Connect 4 supports the strengthening of African research education networks. It aims to make the networks more sustainable, more inclusive, by improving governance, skills, funding, and by providing women leadership. Africa Connect 4 will expand and upgrade resilient high-speed connectivity across the continent, will develop advanced services such as secure digital identities and e-learning tools tailored to African needs, and place a strong emphasis on climate science and resilience. For example, by using improved connectivity to deploy weather stations and regional platforms that make vital climate data accessible to universities, meteorological services, farmers, and local authorities. Ladies and gentlemen, the ambition of African Connect is not enough. Next to these ambitions, it is really for the national governments, that have a decisive role in whether the networks can truly flourish. Only governments can provide the long-term policy vision, enabling regulation and predictable public investments that will allow the national and regional networks to be treated as a strategic national infrastructure. By integrating the networks into education, research, innovation and digital strategies, and by coordinating with regulators and development partners, national authorities create the conditions for networks like GAMREM to become sustainable, inclusive, and powerful drivers of innovation, employment, and socioeconomic development. Only when pulling on the same rope, by combining our efforts, together, we can build a digital foundation for a thriving, green, and resilient African research and education sector. I would like to conclude by convening my heartfelt congratulations to Wacren CEO, Dr. Palanga, and the whole Wacren team behind the organization of this conference. And of course, my gratitude to GAMREM and the Republic of the Gambia for hosting this conference. I hope you have had, and you will still have in the last session, fruitful discussions. From the European Union, we look forward to listen to and read the conclusions that you will be reached, and of course, to continue accompanying you in the implementation of these conclusions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. Now we want to listen to the representative of the West African Development Bank Board, Mr. Totama Charles Milogo. Please put us together for him as he comes.
Bonsoir à toutes et tous. Pardon. Au nom de Monsieur Serge Koué, président de la Banque Ouest Africaine de Développement, qui m'a délégué pour le représenter ici présent. Et donc, tout d'abord, il demande de vous présenter toutes ses excuses. Il aurait bien voulu être là à cette conférence combien importante, mais malheureusement, il doit présider le conseil d'administration de la BOAD qui se tient en ce moment à Dakar. Et donc, les mots que je vais prononcer tantôt sont les siens, et donc en votre, si vous le permettez, au nom donc de Monsieur Serge Ekoué, je vais donc prononcer le discours qu'il m'a bien voulu transmettre à votre endroit. Mesdames et messieurs, tout protocole observé, je voudrais, à l'entame de mon propos, exprimer ma gratitude aux autorités gambiennes pour avoir accepté d'organiser et tenir ici à Banjul cette 11e session et cette 11e conférence annuelle du Wacren. Permettez-moi également de remercier nos partenaires du Wacren, et plus particulièrement Dr Palanga et toute l'équipe du Wacren pour avoir bien voulu associer à cet important événement la Banque Ouest Africaine de Développement, l'institution du financement du développement dans l'espace UEMOA. Votre invitation est pour nous une marque de reconnaissance et d'estime témoignée et nous vous en sommes reconnaissants. Je voudrais aussi saluer tous les acteurs de l'éducation et du numérique ici présents qui œuvrent au quotidien pour doter les secteurs de l'éducation d'outils et d'infrastructures numériques de classe mondiale pour une formation de notre élite, de notre jeunesse africaine. Le thème de cette édition, Avenir connecté, promouvoir la souveraineté numérique de l'Afrique pour la collaboration ouverte, résonne avec urgence dans notre contexte africain. Il porte une conviction que la BOAD comprend totalement. La technologie numérique n'est pas seulement un instrument de modernisation, mais plutôt un levier souverain pour le développement, l'intégration et l'émergence de nos États. Mesdames et messieurs, permettez-moi ces quelques rappels. Les pays de la région UEMOA, cœur de la zone d'intervention de la BOAD, se développent avec un taux de croissance moyen annuel de 6%. C'est très encourageant. Cependant, cette croissance est très souvent insuffisamment inclusive, peu créatrice d'emplois et trop dépendante d'une base économique à faible ancrage local. La transformation numérique a, dans ce contexte, naturellement émergé et peut être le catalyseur le plus important qui puisse changer cette équation. Et pourtant, les chiffres sont clairs. Plus de 85% du trafic Internet africain est encore redirigé et consommé via des centres de données en dehors du continent africain. Ainsi donc, l'infrastructure numérique de notre région est encore largement tournée vers l'extérieur, ce qui rend nos économies vulnérables à des chocs structurels et sape littéralement notre souveraineté dans le cyberespace. De plus, la pénurie de compétences numériques, la connectivité Internet haut débit encore inaccessible et trop coûteuse pour les populations vulnérables, la faible persistance de la production locale de contenu, de plateformes numériques locaux dans des secteurs stratégiques et prioritaires demeurent des défis majeurs. Et c'est précisément face à ces enjeux que les institutions comme Wacren prennent tout leur sens et méritent d'être encouragées et soutenues. En effet, en construisant et en opérant une infrastructure réseau de classe mondiale pour la communauté de la recherche et l'éducation qui favorise l'interconnexion des réseaux nationaux et sous-régionaux, tout en promouvant la collaboration scientifique et technologique à travers le continent, Wacren contribue chaque jour de manière concrète et tangible à combler ces lacunes. Je salue cet engagement que la BOAD serait toujours prête et disponible à accompagner. Depuis 2021, la BOAD a un nouveau plan stratégique dénommé Plan Joliba, qui intègre les enjeux de développement de la zone UEMOA et décliné en 3 axes opérationnels et 2 axes transversaux. Sur chacun de ces 3 axes opérationnels, la BOAD met un accent particulier sur l'économie numérique et les infrastructures de transformation digitale qui favorisent les échanges et permettent d'intégrer l'utilisation d'outils, de logiciels, des systèmes digitaux dans la vie des populations et le fonctionnement au quotidien des entreprises et ce, à tous les niveaux. Comme vous pouvez le constater, le numérique constitue pour la BOAD un secteur d'intervention prioritaire. Dans le cadre donc de la mise en œuvre effective de cette orientation stratégique, elle s'est dotée d'un plan stratégique sectoriel qui vise donc à contribuer au développement d'un secteur numérique résilient, abordable, sûr et inclusif, favorisant l'intégration sous-régionale et la mise en place d'un marché numérique commun, levier de croissance des économies de l'espace UEMOA. Cette stratégie se décline également en 3 axes opérationnels et un levier support. S'agissant du premier axe, enjoint la BOAD à accompagner les États et les opérateurs privés dans leurs projets d'aménagement numérique des territoires et le développement d'infrastructures et services numériques, notamment l'accès et la connectivité au très haut débit, l'hébergement de données et la confiance numérique. S'agissant de l'axe 2, l'ambition de la BOAD est de contribuer à la transformation digitale des services au profit des citoyens à travers, entre autres, la mise en place de plateformes et la dématérialisation donc des différents services. S'agissant de l'axe 3, elle adresse les besoins de développement de compétences et le renforcement de capacités numériques pour soutenir le développement de l'industrie numérique qui requiert une masse critique de compétences et une très grande expertise. S'agissant du levier support, notre cœur de métier, il est relatif à la conception et la mise en place de modèles de financement innovants et adaptés qui entendent combler les besoins de financement de ces secteurs, notamment ceux des startups. Dans cette dynamique d'encourager les États à accélérer la digitalisation de ces services administratifs et les secteurs prioritaires comme l'éducation, la banque a mis en place un fonds de transformation digitale qui est un véhicule de financement mis en place avec notre partenaire, la KfW, pour venir en bonification des prêts de la BOAD au profit donc des États. Notre nouveau plan stratégique, dénommé Djoliba la suite, sur le quinquennat 2026-2030, actuellement en cours d'adoption par nos instances délibérantes, réaffirme avec force la place du numérique dans nos priorités. Il réaffirme les infrastructures numériques comme l'un des 5 secteurs priorités et avec pour ambition claire, connecter et moderniser la région grâce à des infrastructures physiques et numériques durables et résilientes. Avec Djoliba la suite, la BOAD envisage de doubler ses interventions pour atteindre 6 500 milliards de francs CFA, soit 10 millions de francs d'euros sur une période de 5 ans avec une moyenne de 10% accordée au secteur du numérique. Mesdames et messieurs, je suis convaincu que Wacren et la BOAD partagent le même objectif. Nous créons des réseaux qui soutiennent le partage des connaissances. Nous finançons des infrastructures qui permettent aux économies de se former. Wacren construit des réseaux à partir d'universités et des centres de recherche. Les territoires se connectent grâce à des projets de connectivité, des réseaux de nuages souverains et des plateformes de services numériques. Cette convergence n'est donc pas fortuite. Elle découle d'une conviction partagée. La souveraineté numérique africaine ne se décrète pas, elle se construit et ensemble dans la collaboration. Ainsi, pierre à pierre, data center après data center, fibre optique après fibre optique, plateforme de services et développement de compétences, nous y arriverons toutes et tous. Le renforcement du programme de développement des compétences numériques est à cet égard un chantier que la BOAD considère comme indissociable de ses investissements en infrastructure. À quoi serviraient alors justement ces câbles sous-marins que l'on pourrait déployer, ces data centers que l'on va construire si nous ne disposons pas d'ingénieurs, de développeurs, de spécialistes en cybersécurité, les opérer, les maintenir et assurer leur résilience. C'est l'écosystème africain qui nécessite des talents et c'est précisément ce que les institutions comme Wacren et la BOAD pourraient contribuer ensemble à établir. Mesdames et messieurs, cette conférence réunit ce que le continent a de plus actif et de plus engagé dans la transformation numérique. Des décideurs, des chercheurs, des opérateurs, des experts et des partenaires. Vous êtes donc une ressource inestimable que nous devrions donc encourager, soutenir et développer. Alors, je voudrais adresser un appel à 3 niveaux. Premièrement, un appel à l'ambition. Nous ne nous contenons pas d'être simplement de bons utilisateurs de la technologie numérique. Rêvons grand. Soyons des leaders de notre classe, de notre propre monde numérique où nous avons l'audace de vouloir être des architectes de l'espace. Avec les investissements significatifs dans des centres de données régionaux, des points d'échange Internet, des câbles sous-marins et terrestres qui nous appartiennent, des plateformes souveraines qui protégeront nos données et notre intérêt. Ensuite, un appel à la coopération. La souveraineté numérique ne se construit pas en silo. Elle se construit par la collaboration entre les universités, les instituts de recherche, les États, les banques de développement, les secteurs privés et les partenaires. Wacren en est un modèle à cet égard qu'il faut féliciter. Et la BOAD vise à approfondir ces partenariats, notamment en ce qui concerne le financement d'infrastructures numériques à fort impact dans la région qui contribueront aux efforts de numérisation et du développement de la recherche et de la formation dans l'espace. Enfin, un appel à l'urgence. Permettez-moi de lancer justement un plaidoyer pour ce faire. Il n'y a pas de luxe de temps. Le développement et la mondialisation des technologies s'accélèrent. L'intelligence artificielle, le cloud et les technologies émergentes influent profondément les économies et les structures sociales. Si l'Afrique n'investit pas massivement et stratégiquement dans son infrastructure numérique aujourd'hui, elle risque de creuser davantage un écart qui sera de plus en plus difficile à combler demain. Mesdames et messieurs, en conclusion, je voudrais donc réaffirmer avec force l'engagement de la BOAD à soutenir la transformation numérique de notre sous-région, mais aussi le développement des compétences, la formation, la recherche et l'innovation. Notre conviction est totale. L'avenir de l'Afrique est connecté, il est numérique et il doit être souverain. Nous avons les institutions qu'il faut, nous avons les compétences qu'il faut, nous avons, avec Wacren et ses membres, les partenaires qu'il faut. Il nous reste à mobiliser collectivement les ressources et la volonté politique qu'il faut. La BOAD sera donc au rendez-vous de ces défis. Elle l'a toujours été depuis sa création. Il y a plus de 50 ans et elle entend l'être avec encore plus de force, d'ambition et d'impact pour les années à venir. Je forme ainsi le vœu que les travaux de cette 11e conférence soient féconds, que les échanges soient riches et que les résolutions qui en découleront contribuent de manière décisive à faire avancer la souveraineté numérique de notre sous-région. Ainsi voudrais-je réitérer l'engagement de la BOAD à suivre et à renforcer sa collaboration avec Wacren afin de résolument et activement accélérer la connectivité et promouvoir l'usage numérique dans les secteurs de l'éducation. Permettez-moi enfin de conclure en exhortant toutes les parties prenantes à prendre part active et nous voudrions donc saluer encore le dynamisme, l'engagement et cette estime du Wacren vis-à-vis de la BOAD. Je vous remercie. Ceci était donc le mot de M. Serge Ekwe, président de la Banque Ouest Africaine de Développement, BOAD. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miligo. Now I want to hear from the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology for the Republic of the Gambia. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Honorable Professor Pierre Gomez. Please put your hands together.
Thank you, MC. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, ably represented by Honorable Minister of Public Service, Your Excellency, the EU Ambassador here present, the outgoing Chair of Wacren Board, the CEO Wacren, the Vice Chancellors, former Vice Chancellors here present, heads of delegations from different countries here present, Wacren staff, Gambian staff, senior heads of institutions of the Gambia and heads of satellite institutions of the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology here present, our brothers and sisters in development from the media, good afternoon to you all. It is both an honor and a profound privilege to welcome you all to the Gambia for the Wacren 2026 Annual Conference, convened under the compelling and timely theme, Connected Futures Advancing Africa's Digital Sovereignty Through Open Collaboration. Let me begin by extending warm greetings and a steadfast commitment from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia. We know Honorable Boy will go further than that, whose vision for a digitally empowered, knowledge-driven economy continues to guide our national development trajectory. Distinguished guests, Africa stands today at a decisive inflection point. The future of our continent will not be determined solely by the resources beneath our soil, but increasingly by the knowledge we generate, the data we govern, and the digital systems we build and control. Digital sovereignty, therefore, is no longer an abstract aspiration. It is an urgent imperative. It is about ensuring that African institutions do not merely consume digital technologies, but actively design, own, and govern them. It is about ensuring that African data serves African priorities, and it is about building resilient, inclusive, and secure digital ecosystems that empower our universities, researchers, and innovators. In other words, the Africa of the 2026, of year 2026 and beyond, is an Africa where our researchers and academics are not bystanders. It's an Africa where we are not part of the knowledge production. We are not, as I always told my students at the university, but students of the university. As the African proverb wisely reminds us, until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. Today, through platforms such as Wacren, Africa is beginning to write its own digital story. Obviously, with our partners, the European Union, and Your Excellency, we want to thank you and for the support. As the African proverbs, as I said, help us now to revisit ourselves and take charge of our destiny using technology, domiciling it, be in charge, using it as a tool for the transformation that this country needs. The youths are waiting, but they don't have the patience. We need to use this new tool, the new technology, to liberate that positive energy from our youths. The West and Central African Research and Education Network, Wacren, has been instrumental in this journey. Wacren has laid a digital backbone for collaboration, innovation, and knowledge exchange through connecting national research and education networks across our region. This conference, as highlighted in the concept note, brings together a unique convergence of policymakers, technologists, researchers, and development partners. It is not merely a meeting. It is a working platform for shaping the future of research and education in Africa. Yes, for some within Africa, the process has started. For some, like the Gambia and other places, it's a technological revolution. It's bringing the connectivity to the doorsteps of the students, university students. Once they enter their campus, for them to have that opportunity to connect and enter and have that conversation with their peers out there, but also having access to digital resources to facilitate their research and also their learning. This is where we are now. And with Wacren, chairman and the rest of the team, the higher education family in the Gambia is very, very grateful because this is going to connect our universities. This is going to change the situation in our systems, helping our students and lecturers, once they find themselves in our universities, for them to have that connectivity that we are looking for. Yes, some of us elsewhere, many years ago, we benefited from that. Unfortunately, in some parts of Africa and the Gambia, we waited for too long. But this is the day. This is the day when the revolution has come to your doorsteps. This is the day when you will join your colleagues out there also to benefit from these opportunities. From advancing open science ecosystem to strengthening cybersecurity collaboration to building AI infrastructure tailored to African realities and to leveraging federated climate intelligence system, the agenda before us reflects both the complexity and the opportunity of our shared mission. Excellencies, distinguished participants, for the Gambia, hosting Wacren 2026 is both a milestone and a statement of intent. Better late than never. Yes, we are on the road. Banjul is coming. Banjul is joining the academy, the committee of scholars and researchers. And Banjul will also be benefiting from this instrument. Indeed, the Gambia stands at a crossroads characterized by a youthful population, expanding digital ambition, and a government fully committed to ICT-driven transformation. So the transformation is real. Through initiatives such as the strengthening of our national research and education network, GAMBRAN, we are actively building the foundations for a connected and globally competitive academic and research ecosystem. As another African proverb teaches us, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So Wacren embodies this philosophy. It reminds us that no single country, institution, or network can achieve digital sovereignty in isolation. So Wacren, through other partners, helps the Gambia to be able to benefit from this opportunity. So let me also take this opportunity to express our sincere appreciation to our partners, to the European Union, represented here today by His Excellency Ms. Roca E. Cortes, the EU Ambassador. We acknowledge your continued support in strengthening Africa's research and digital infrastructure through initiatives such as Africa Connect. To the West African Development Bank, under the leadership of Mr. Serge Ekwe, here represented, we commend your commitment to financing sustainable development and regional integration, including in the knowledge and digital economy sectors. Your partnerships are not merely financial. They are strategic, catalytic, and transformative. Distinguished colleagues, as we deliberate over the next 2 days, I urge us to focus on 3 imperatives. 1, ownership, ensuring that Africa retains control over its data, infrastructure, and digital future. Let's prepare ourselves to have a mastery of this data. 2, collaboration, deepening partnerships across borders, disciplines, and institutions to build shared solutions. And 3, sustainability, designing systems that are not only innovative, but also resilient, inclusive, and enduring. The conversations we have here must translate into actionable policies, scalable infrastructure, and measurable outcomes for our universities, our researchers, and ultimately our citizens. In closing, let this conference mark not just another gathering, because we have many gatherings since the early days of independence in the 60s. But a turning point, a moment where Africa collectively commits to moving from participation in the digital age to leadership within it. Let us leave Banjul with renewed purpose, strengthened partnerships, and a shared determination to build a truly connected African future, one that is open, sovereign, and driven by our own ingenuity. On behalf of the government of the Gambia and the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, MOHAS, I warmly welcome you once again to this smiling coast, the Gambia, and wish you a highly productive and impactful conference. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. So I guess it's a moment we've been waiting for. The President of the Republic of the Gambia has appointed a man to step in his shoes in this event. So we are treating him as such. So ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome to the podium the Minister for Public Sector for the Republic of the Gambia, the Public Service actually, Honorable Babukar Boy. Shall we be on our feet, please, as we invite him? Shall we be on our feet?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me first of all extend the apologies of His Excellency the President, who would have loved to be here with you. But I guess those of you who are following news in the Gambia would be aware that today was the State of the Nation's address, which he is required by law to preside over at the National Assembly every year. And because of that important national engagement, he couldn't join you, but has asked me to step in for him. So just take it that he's here with you in spirit. Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, the EU Ambassador to the Gambia, other members of the West and Central African Research and Education Network, Wacren, they are present. Distinguished guests, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all to the Republic of the Gambia for the 2026 Annual Conference of the West and Central African Research and Education Network, Wacren, convened under the inspiring theme, and I quote, "Connected Futures, Advancing Africa's Digital Sovereignty through Open Collaboration," end of quote. I am deeply proud that Banjul has been chosen to host this important gathering of policymakers, researchers, network engineers, university leaders, innovators, and development partners from across our continent and beyond. Your presence here affirms our shared commitment to shaping Africa's digital future on our own terms. Since inception, Wacren has played a transformative role in connecting national research and education networks across West and Central Africa to the global research community. Through advanced digital infrastructure, capacity building, and promotion of open science, it has strengthened the foundations of a knowledge-driven economy for its member states. As we gather here today, digital sovereignty is no longer an abstract concept. It is a strategic imperative that ensures that African institutions own, govern, and benefit from their digital infrastructure, utilize and protect their data and innovations. The challenge is about building resilient systems that protect our knowledge assets, empower our researchers, and reflect our cultural and developmental priorities. For the Gambia, the theme of the conference resonates deeply with our current tertiary and higher education transformation and digital development drive. As a young and dynamic population, we recognize that our future prosperity lies in harnessing science, technology, and innovation. Our recovery-focused National Development Plan 2023 to 2027 places strong emphasis on ICT-driven transformation, higher education reform, and regional integration. Hosting this conference is not merely symbolic, therefore. It is a strategic step in aligning our national ambitions with continental progress. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am particularly encouraged by the initiatives highlighted at this Wacren conference, ranging from strengthening open science ecosystems and expanding access to digital higher education to federated climate intelligence and the application of artificial intelligence in learning. These efforts demonstrate that collaboration and sharing of resources is the best pathway to sovereignty. I encourage you, therefore, to put strong emphasis on building adequate human and institutional capacity on cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and federated climate data systems. As Africans, when we invest in shared infrastructure, federated identity systems, secure networks, and open repositories, we are creating platforms that amplify our country's research visibility and impact. Accordingly, I encourage our universities and research institutions to collaborate across borders to develop lasting solutions to our shared challenges in education, climate change, public health, and food security. The establishment of the Gambian Research and Education Network, GAMREN, within the broader Wacren community is of particular importance to my government's development agenda, as it creates a strong national network connected to a vibrant regional ecosystem that can empower our universities, enhance their research collaboration, and open new opportunities for our young scholars. I am glad that during this event, Gamren will be fully connected, and the University of the Gambia, as a pilot institution, will benefit from federated services. These connections will eventually be extended to other public and private institutions across the country. I task Wacren to continue their technical guidance and support to the Emergent Research and Education Network, GAMREN, until it is fully functional and rolled out in the Gambia. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, beyond the research and policy dimensions, this conference carries economic and reputational significance for the Gambia. Your presence here will contribute to our hospitality sector, strengthen academic diplomacy, and position the Gambia as an active and forward-looking participant in Africa's digital transformation process. On the other hand, and more importantly, this gathering reinforces a powerful message that Africa's digital future must be built by Africans, for Africans, through partnership and openness. As part of the conclusions of this conference, I encourage you to come up with practical commitments, harmonize standards, strengthen frameworks, sustainable business models for national research and education networks, and renewed investment in open science infrastructure. Let the conclusions deepen collaboration among our governments, universities, and communities through the Africa we want, as enshrined in the AU Agenda 2063. Furthermore, let us continue to inspire, train, and support our young people to see themselves not merely as consumers of technology, but also as creators and custodians of Africa's digital destiny. Distinguished participants, I reaffirm my government's commitment to supporting digital infrastructure, research collaboration, and regional integration. We stand ready to work with Wacren and its member networks to ensure that the outcomes of this conference translate into lasting institutional and societal impact. I have to use this opportunity to thank the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, and the WADIP for their immense contribution to the establishment of GAMREN, as well as for their logistical support in successfully hosting the Banjul Wacren conference. And I want to include the European Union in this list of institutions that the government is thanking. With these remarks, it is my distinct honor to declare the Wacren 2026 annual conference officially open. I wish you fruitful deliberations and a memorable stay in the Gambia. And thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thanks for the speech. And so we've come to the end of the opening session. That's the official opening. We want to now proceed out of the auditorium for a special memorable group photo. So this is what we'll do. The guests, the personalities here will proceed out first, and then all of us will join them in front of them. So we are doing that at the frontage of the building. That's the entry. That's where we are having the photography. So please, let's wait till they proceed out of the building, and then we can join them out there. Thank you.